We are diving straight into Unit 25 today, which is all about free time at home.
Okay, here is our quick roadmap for today. We're going to look at screens and audio, active and digital hobbies, what you're reading, how you relax and socialize, and then we'll wrap up by fixing some really common mistakes language learners make.
All right, part 1, screens and audio.
So, the absolute classic way to unwind after a long day is to, you guessed it, watch TV. Now, pay close attention to the verb here. You might watch TV every evening, or maybe you decide to watch a specific program, like, say, a film about President Kennedy. And when the weekend finally rolls around, we might just gather the family and watch a DVD. It's a super relaxing activity, but in English, the verb requires our active attention.
Now, when it comes to audio, the correct phrasing requires a little preposition that people honestly forget all the time. You listen to music. You might listen to music on the radio while making breakfast, or maybe you prefer to listen to music on your phone. And hey, if you're trying to keep the noise down, you might say, I need some new headphones for my phone. But remember, the structure is always listen to, followed by whatever it is you're listening to.
Moving on to part 2, active and digital hobbies.
For those of you who prefer digital hobbies, the vocabulary shifts to some highly interactive verbs. A lot of young people, and honestly plenty of adults too, play video games every day. Or you might download music and films from the internet to build up your own digital library. And of course, a huge part of modern free time is social, right? So you might chat to friends online every evening. These verbs, play, download, chat, they're basically the engines of our digital lives.
But hey, stepping away from the digital world for a second, let's talk about more hands-on, tangible hobbies around the house. If you absolutely love spending your time creating meals, you just use kitchen vocabulary and say, I really like cooking. It's direct, it's totally natural, and it perfectly conveys what you're doing.
Or, if you want to head outdoors just a bit, you can talk about gardening. This is a fantastic hobby, and to be really specific about what you're actually doing out there in the dirt, you'd explain that you grow flowers and vegetables in your garden. The verb grow pairs perfectly with what you produce. It just makes your English sound so much richer and more precise.
All right, part 3, what are you reading?
So what's genuinely fascinating about this category is how specific English gets when we describe reading materials. We don't usually just say, I read books. We actually categorize them. So ask yourself right now, what do you read at home? Think about the physical objects or the screens you're looking at right before bed.
If you love getting totally lost in a big, long story, the exact term to use is that you read novels. A novel isn't just any book, right? It implies a long story, usually fiction. So saying I read a lot of novels tells people exactly what kind of literary escape you're into.
But hey, maybe novels just aren't your thing. You might read comics, which, funny enough, is what my sister absolutely loves. You could also read nonfiction, like books about nature and different countries. Or if you prefer shorter, glossy articles, you read magazines, maybe ones focused on music and sport. And for those who love staying updated on current events, you might read a daily newspaper. Categorizing your reading like this just gives people a much clearer picture of your interests.
Okay, part 4, relaxing and socializing.
Now, the absolute crucial takeaway here is this incredibly common, very natural-sounding native expression, to have friends round. That simply means you invite them over to your house or flat. Honestly, it sounds so much more conversational than saying something stiff like, I invite people to my residence. Saying we sometimes have friends round is literally the perfect way to describe a casual get-together.
This category has a bunch of other great phrases too. You might have friends to dinner. Or if they live far away, you might have a best friend come to stay, which means they actually sleep over at your house. You can talk to friends on the phone. But honestly, sometimes the absolute best free time activity is to just do nothing. Or, take a page out of Grandpa's book and have a sleep after lunch.
Finally, part 5, avoid these common mistakes. Right. Before we wrap up today, we really have to cover the most common grammar traps that language learners fall into. Listen closely. It is a strict rule in English that you must always say, watch TV. You never, ever say, see TV. And when it comes to audio, it's always listen to the radio. You can't just say, we listen the radio, and you definitely don't say, we hear the radio. Watch implies you're giving active attention to a screen, and listen to implies active attention to audio. If you master this, you're going to avoid the most frequent errors that native speakers hear. So now that you've got the exact vocabulary, the right phrasing, and the grammar rules to talk about your home life with total confidence, I want you to actually put it to use. I'm leaving you with this final question to practice right now in the comments. What is your absolute favorite free time activity at home? Do you listen to music, read novels, have friends round, or do you prefer to just do nothing?